Alright, so for our amplifier, I've already gone ahead and bolted onto the back of the seat here. This is the driver's side of it. So it was really easy to do actually. On the back of the seats here, they're all mostly metal. So how can I show you here? So they have these kind of grooves on them. So when you touch like this, it'll kind of sink, and then you got these ones kind of sticking up a little bit more. So I was able to find one here, sorry, on this side here, and a smaller one on this side. I was able to line up the amplifier nice, and then bolt it on. I use the exact same screws that I use for the speakers to put them on the brackets. Use those. Don't have to use self tappers or nothing. Just put them on there and screw them all nice and slow. I didn't want to strip them or strip the holes there and then have them loose. So as you can see there, it's on there pretty good with all four bolts. Also did right was you want to watch for the opening here, because that's where it latches onto the back. And as well, I wanted to leave some extra room here at the bottom to get all my speaker wires and power cables, as well as all your settings are on there. So when I have enough room, so if I flip it open to make any changes, be easier access than having it at the very bottom, where it doesn't give as much room. What I'll be doing next is my power and ground wires. Since I already have this one installed, and there's my ground and my power, I'll be doing a power distributor and a ground distributor as well. So that I'll be mounting just behind here, so that way I can get power to both amplifiers off of here without having to run another set of power and ground cables. So that's what I'll be doing next, and then after that I'll be doing my RCAs that will be running on the passenger side, as well as I'll start running my speaker wires. So I'll start with that and we'll go from there. So this is where I'm at now. Got most of my power and ground done. So there's my distributor. Power's on the left, ground's on the right. Have both power and ground wires tucked behind here. Then it's gonna have that sticking out there, and then from there to the amplifiers. So I got power and ground to the rockford now. It's gotta do the remote, and I gotta do the ground for the for my other amp, and that'll be it for that. And then I'll continue on with the RCAs and speaker wires. So you can see it's coming along. That's where I'll have it sitting. So again, I gave it a bit of slack for the power and ground wire. I'll do the same thing for the remote and everything else. So when I flip my seat down, if I need to do something, I can. It won't be tight, and I have to be, pulling wires and whatnot. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and then we'll continue on. So now that I've done with the amps here, power, ground, I thought about doing the speakers from here, but I'm gonna do my RCAs first, and then run my speaker wires. So I already got some of the side panels here taken off. There's the other side of it, and the rest here. And I already got one pair of RCAs kind of running along here. I did mark, I'm not sure, but this is how I do it. I marked the one set of RCAs with some black tape on both ends, just so when I go and plug them in, I'll know which is the front and which is the rear, but I'm not gonna mix them up. Now for the remote, because I got the two amplifiers, I'm gonna keep the single wire from the dash here all the way to the back. Once I get back there, I'm gonna practically split it in two, make it into a wire connection, and that'll give me a signal for both amplifiers to come on. So yeah, this is where I'm at. Most of you should know how to take all this apart. So yeah, this is where I'm at, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so now I'm done both sets of RCAs to the amp here. It's got a power, ground, and a remote now. So that one's all ready to go. The last step is obviously to run the speaker wires to the bottom of the seat. So as you got all the side panels off, because I'll have to use this side here to get the speaker wire all the way to the bottom of the driver's seat. Of course, that being the case because I have the factory rockford system, so I gotta get rid of the amp and then I'll be using all the wires underneath the seat there that go straight to the speakers. So I'm gonna have to run speaker wires to each door. That'll make it easy for me. And two, I'll be setting the crossovers for the front speakers. That's what I'll be setting under, is under the seat there. So that's where they're gonna go. So again, this part of it mostly done. It's gotta run my speaker wires now, as I said, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now that I've got the amp mounted and everything, I'm gonna take off my seat that we can get to the bottom to get to the factory amp and start running my speaker wires. So first you gotta remove the seat. Of course, you got 4 bolts, one in each corner there. I believe they're 13 millimeter, but I'm not entirely sure. So first you're gonna remove these tabs, and they can be really stiff at the beginning because I've never taken mine off. So you gotta pull on these two here, and they're just gonna pull from the bottom and you should release. I already done this one because it's only holding by these two tabs here, but you don't want to break them because otherwise, you know, they don't go back properly. So I already done that one, so I'll do the other 3 and then we'll go from there. So now that I've got the the bolts taken off, I bring my seat back towards the back seat there. That will give me nice access to these 4 harnesses you gotta undo. I tried doing it with the seat was still down, and no, it's gonna happen. So just moved it back like this and got easy access. So there's the 4 harnesses you gotta undo. And just so you guys know, to do the yellow one, just gotta pull back on this white little trigger here. Just pull back, and that will release. The other 2 are pretty easy as well. Gotta press down on that one, press down on that one. Now the last one, it's actually on the bottom, so you just gotta press down on this one. It took me a few tries because it just would not release, but after a few of them, I was able to get it off. So now I got that, and I got nice access to the amp that I'll be removing. Of course, I'll remove the seat first, and then we'll continue on. Now that I've got my car seat out of the way to get the factory amp off, it's a couple bolts here. They're both 10 millimeters. So once you do those, you can basically just, well, you got to do your harnesses first, of course. Put the 2 triggers there. Then you just lift up your amp and you pull forward, because in the back of it, it's just 2 clips here, and that they slide into those slots there. That's what you got to do to get your factory amp off. So now we've got access here to the harnesses where I'll be splicing into for the speakers. Of course, I'm gonna have my 2 crossovers sitting here, so that's my next step. But I guess first I should run all my speaker wires all the way here because the rears will be going straight to the harnesses here. The only thing I'll be adding, of course, is the crossovers and my tweeters. So yeah, I'll start with that and we'll go from there. Well, before I run my wires, I decided to take the back seat out, the bottom of the back seat, because I figured I'm going to be just using extra wire for no reason to run my wires all the way to the passenger side, all through the bottom of the carpet and through here. If you take out the bottom of the seat at least, just feed it through the bottom here. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you've never done it before, what you got to do, there's a couple tabs where I'm taking mine off. I'll show you. So there's 2 tabs that sit in that white spot there, 1 on each side. That'll give it a good pull and it comes off. And of course, you gotta just take off your seatbelt buckles there through the middle, and you should be good to go. So I'll do that, and then I should be able to fit my wires right through there and right at the bottom of the carpet, straight here. Be a lot faster and save me a lot of wire. So I've already gone and done 2 of my speakers here. These are the rears. As you can see, I got the bottom of the seat out. So over there is my 2 sets of speaker cables run through the bottom of the carpet, come out here. Now I will be posting the which wires are for which, but so this one's the main, or one of the harnesses you can say. So this is where you get power, signal, and ground from your stock amp. So this other one here is where you got some of your rear speakers. So this is one of them. This is another set. And if you have the tweeters, this is the other side of it. So these 4 corner wires here, on this one where you got the power and everything from, your front speakers are the last 4 cables closest to a driver door. So it's these four here. So one's your left and the other one is your right. Again, I will be posting that info on the bottom of the page there, and so you guys can see that. But again, I've done my rears, so now I'm gonna start running my fronts. So I'll run my wires, and then I'll set up my crossovers just over here, and then start taking things away. Once I'm all done all that, then I'll put the seat back. The last thing I need to do for mine, because I do have the aftermarket radio, is hook up my RCAs and also remove the Mito 02. So I'll be hardwiring my power ignition, ground, remote, illumination, a few other ones. But that's what I'll need to do. If you don't, or you already you have the stock system, you don't have to do that. So anyways, I'll continue on, and yeah. So now I've got all my speakers hooked up here. I've got my two crossovers sitting there, as you can see. I've got the speaker wires all over there. I haven't tucked them away or zipped them yet. I want to make sure I got everything done first before I finish that off. Of course, I gotta clean this up. Now my two factory harnesses are gonna be sitting right there. I'm gonna tuck away there. They won't be in the way. Just gotta put them away. That should be okay. Of course, I gotta clean up that bit there, and now my crossovers to mount them. I'm not sure I'm gonna do it. This one's came with some 3M tape on the bottom of it. They obviously won't stick onto here, but I'm able to just use a couple screws on them, one in each corner maybe. But the bottom here, as you can see in there, that's how it is. So you got this metal bracket, and you got the bottom of the car. So when I use some screws to get to this, but over here is the same as over here. You got this hollow, and on this side, so you only got bracket around it. So to figure out a way of moving them close to each other, so I can get screws on there so they're not all over the place. Worst case scenario, I might just get some Velcro and put them to the bottom there. But yeah, that's all my speakers there. I like to solder and shrink too, but I don't like those butt connectors or whatever else. But that's personal choice. So yeah, they're all my speaker wires there. Those are my rears, and then my crossovers and tweeters and whatnot. So my next step is, before I do my speakers actually, I'm gonna get to the back of the head unit, hook up my RCAs, and get rid of the Mito 02. But that's for me, to have that head unit. And I had the bypass for the old factory. So I'm done with the removal of the Mito 02, and I left my harnesses or the RCAs and whatnot sitting there, because I'm not gonna test anything yet since I got my battery unplugged. Got my crossovers all sitting there now, so they're ready to go. All they're strapped on and everything. Back seat, I gotta put that on next. So I got my harness all done as well, all zip tight and everything. I'll clean this up before I put my seat on. I'm not gonna bolt it on. I'm gonna just put it on for now until just to test the things out, make sure everything's working. Obviously I can't test it right now because of the seat. If I plug the battery back on, I might set off some sensors because of the airbags and whatnot. So I'll leave that, like I said, I'll just put it on, not bolt it on, just in case of anything, and I'll give everything a quick test. I haven't put my speakers on yet, but as long as everything else works, I got power, sound, and everything going to the speakers, then that should be okay. The last thing to do, I'll just put in the new speakers, and that will be it. So yeah, I'll just clean this up, and then we'll keep going. All right, so I put the seat back on. I didn't bolt it all the way down. I just put the screws back on so it wouldn't be moving around on me. That way I could put the harnesses back on, so I could put the negative terminal back on to get power to the car. I already hooked up my RCAs and everything back to the back on the deck. I just wanted to test it out. I still have the factory speakers, just because I want to test it out before anything. So you see over there, I've got power to the amp on the blue light on the far right hand side, as you can tell. So I got power and everything to both amps. I want to make sure I got everything working right. So I'm gonna test out the sound just to make sure I got all the wiring right. So let's just give it a quick sound here. So I got sound there, and then to make sure that I got the right speakers here, I'm gonna go to my audio setup, go to audio control, and just quickly go through the speakers here. So let's start with my back right passenger side. You won't be able to pick that up because I have the volume low, but that one's working right. That one's working right. That one's working, and this one's working. So I got power and I got sound to all 4 speakers. Have the volume low, so again you might not be able to hear that, but I got everything working so far. So now I'm just going to start getting my door panels apart so I can actually get the speakers in here.